properties of a circle. When you're solving problems that are involving angle properties of a circle, these are the rules that you're supposed to have in mind, the properties. Number one, angles that are subtended by the same arc or chord. Angles that are subtended by the same arc are equal. Like in this diagram here, you have this chord AB that is subtending this angle, let's call this angle X, and this angle Z. So this chord is subtending this angle to the circumference of the circle. So these angles here will be equal. So suppose this angle is 30 degrees, this one here will also be 30 degrees. And if there is also another angle here, that angle will also be 30 degrees. Even if it is up here, it will also be 30 degrees. This angle, this angle, this angle, this angle are equal because they are subtended by the same chord. So this angle, they have to be subtended to the circumference of the circle for them to be equal. So that first angle property is angles subtended by the same chord to the circumference of the circle are equal. So suppose there is another angle that is subtended by this chord, but it is not reaching the circumference here, it will not be equal to these other angles. Property number 2. If you are given a circle with center O, the line that is cutting the circle at the center from one circumference of the circle to another is called the diameter of the circle. Angles subtended by the diameter of a circle are equal to 90 degrees. So this angle is equal to 90 degrees. So long as you see the diameter of a circle, and I believe you know how to identify the diameter, do not confuse a diameter with a chord. So suppose you see a diameter of a circle subtending an angle to the circumference of the circle. That angle will be 90 degrees. So you should be able to identify that property when you are given questions like this to solve. Property number 3. Angles that are subtended by the same chord to the center of the circle and to the circumference of the circle. When you have this, a circle with center O and a chord, let's call this chord AB. When you see a chord subtending an angle at the center of the circle and another angle at the circumference of the circle, then the one at the center will be twice the one at the circumference. So let's say if this angle is X, then the one at the center will be 2X. For example, if this angle is 40, this X here is 40, then the angle at the center will be 80. So that is another angle property. Let us look at the fourth one. In the fourth one, we look at a cyclic quadrilateral. A cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral, just like you know that a quadrilateral is a four-sided figure. A cyclic quadrilateral is a quadrilateral whose vertices are touching the circumference of the circle. These are the vertices of the quadrilateral. If all 4 vertices of the quadrilateral are touching the circumference of the circle, then that quadrilateral is called a cyclic quadrilateral. Opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 180 degrees. So if this angle is X, then this one here will be 180 minus X. That's to say that if you take the opposite angles of a cyclic quadrilateral, they will add up to 180 degrees. So if this one here is given to be 50, then this angle that is opposite to it will be 180 minus 50. the sum total, this interior angles of a cyclic quadrilateral, add up to 360 degrees. Sum total of a cyclic quadrilateral, the interior angles, sum of interior angles of a cyclic quadrilateral add up to 360 degrees. Another property about cyclic quadrilateral that you need to know is that if you protrude or reproduce one side of a cyclic quadrilateral, then the exterior angle, this angle here, will be equal to the opposite interior angle. So if you produce this one here, this angle will also be equal to x. If this is x, this angle also will be x. Okay. The fifth property, the fifth angle property, is angles. This one here is the tangent of a circle. This is the circle center. So the radius of a circle will always meet the tangent line at 90 degrees. The radius of the circle will always meet the tangent line at 90 degrees. So this one here, let us start with these angle properties.